No, I know I say this every time I do a new build, but this is my new favorite build. We've got a Pip-Boy. Let's go! Hey folks, it's been a while, but we are back with a new project. With Fallout Season 2 dropping, I thought, gotta make a Pip-Boy. We have to make a Pip-Boy. So I've gone ahead and printed all of the parts of Pip-Boy. These files are from Mystery Makers. I think it cost me around $30, but it's got all the instructions and a whole list of components that you're going to need to complete this build. It comes in a number of parts. We've got the wrist right here, and houses the screen. I've printed out all of the components. I don't think I need them all, but these are just nice little bits. It's got the locking mechanism so it stays attached to your wrist. It's got dials, knobs, battery holder. So I'm going to pop all of these off before we start looking at the electronics. As for the electronic side of things, we've got a few bits and bobs. See if we can go through it here. Got a card reader to load the code onto, breadboard wires to do some wiring, battery to power it. What do we got here? We've got a Arduino, battery plug, and some switches, some rocker switches. I'll put everything in the description below. I'll add a Amazon link as well as an AliExpress if you want it cheaper. In here then we have a card reader and a memory card. And then finally what we've got is the LCD screen. I believe this is a touchscreen, so it should make the whole thing work beautifully. But what I'm going to do now is get acquainted with all of these bits and bobs. I'm going to try and code the Arduino. So once I know what I'm doing, I can let you know so you can follow along at home. Where do I start? So this morning I thought I'd sit down and tackle the electronic side of the project, only to find out I've hit my first roadblock. I've ordered the wrong LCD screen. It's 3.5 inches, that's fine. But the pins on the back do not marry up to the Arduino Uno. It just doesn't, it's not compatible. Even if I use wires, I don't think I'll be able to bridge it to this successfully. Mainly because I don't know what I'm doing. So, I'm gonna have to order a new screen and pray it's the right one. So in the meantime, what I'm going to do is paint. I've gone for a silver paint for the main piece. And I think what I want to do for all the little bells and whistles is paint them gold. So I went over with a silver coat, but I think just to make them stand out and to make sure it's being built and tinkered with, give it that steampunk aesthetic almost, you know, little gold cogs, and just feel like it's been mangled together. So we've got our little gold bits. Now I've just got to figure out which bits go where. That's as far as I got with a little red dial. I guess one of these knobs. One thing you will need are some screws, some M3 screws. I've already gone and put some in the hinge there, and I need some here to hold in the Arduino Nano. Sorry, hold in the Arduino Uno, and some other bits. But yeah, now I'm just trying to piece together where everything goes. Alrighty folks, so we have our Pip-Boy looking pretty nice with its little gold embellishments. I'm going to weather this up with a dark wash in just a moment. But what I want to talk about is electronics. I finally got the correct screen. Now this isn't the exact one that Mystery Makers recommended. That was out of stock. So I've got this one, and it might work, but also it might just play an animation rather than be an actual touchscreen. So let me just run through what we've got here and what we're going to do in order to load the code onto the Arduino, how we're going to install this in here. We've got a bit of a checklist. We've got battery, we've got SD card, we've got LCD screen, Arduino Uno, some wires, a rocker switch, battery clip and power, and this is just spare. Forget about that micro USB. But what we're going to do is we're going to load some images onto an SD card from the files given to us by Mystery Makers. Okay, so next what we're going to do is upload the code to the Arduino. Now what you want to do is boot up the Pip-Boy screen code for the Arduino IDE software, and you'll see about 20 lines of code. I want you to pay attention to the first 5 that says #include, Adafruits, MCU friend, touchscreen, SPI, SD. So what you're going to do is you're going to plug in your Arduino Uno. You're going to go to the tools. You're going to select board, and then you're going to select Arduino Uno, and then you are going to also select the port, depending on which port your Arduino Uno is plugged in. Mine at the minute is blanked out because I don't have my Arduino plugged in, because the code is already uploaded. Now, once you've got that selected, you just want to go up here and you want to click upload. Now, when I uploaded, I immediately had flashbacks to my Iron Man helmet where I had code errors left, right, and center. I had the same here. I had exactly the same here. The first one was red error, file does not exist, or something or other, Adafruit. So basically, it was missing. There's been some updated code. So all you want to do is go into your library manager, type in Adafruit, GFX, and you basically click install. For me, it says remove, but I've already had it in place. So I did that. Next, I uploaded it again and had the same problem with the MCU friend. It says file does not exist. Basically, you want to upload the latest version. And finally, the same thing happened again for the touchscreen. Install that. Once you have all of that, click upload. It should go on perfectly, like a dream. Next, we want to connect the screen to the Arduino Uno. Okay, so with the code uploaded, it's just a matter of assembly. So what you want to do is you want to take your micro SD card, pop it into your LCD screen in the back here. Next, what you want to do is marry up your LCD screen with the Arduino Uno. Now you'd think it was a simple process of just pushing one into the other, but slightly off where you think it's going to be. So the pins that you want are A5 through to 0, VIN to reset. That's what you want. Push that in. You're ready to go. Next then, before we move it into the Pip-Boy, we're just going to check that it all works. So you're going to need some wires, a wire cutter, a stripper, a little rocker switch, battery attachments, battery. Okay, so what we're going to look to do is create a very simple circuit. So we have kept the negative wire of the battery connector intact and snipped the red. We've then extended the wire on both sides, and then we're going to add some wires then to the rocker switch. Now breadboard wires are good because they've got the connectors. So all I've done is added a red to a red this one then goes to the first instance, and then the blue one comes from the second one, the one in the center here. Once you've got them connected, you see a very simple circuit of battery here, switch here, power jack here. So all we're going to do is connect our battery like so. Make sure our switch is off and plug it in. And let's power on. Look at that, we have a Pip-Boy. And again, because this is not the correct screen, it's just playing through the animations. It's not a touch screen, unfortunately. I will link the actual screen down below. Now you can run into issues here, as I did. This screen might come white and purple. It might be the inverse colors. And what you do to fix that is that you go back into the Arduino software. You go down to line 21, and I think it says inverse. What you're gonna do is type in 2 slashes before, which just cancels out the code, re-upload it to the Arduino Uno, redo the join to the screen to the board, power up again, and you're back in the game. So, with everything working, we just need to integrate the two. We need to move this circuit into the Pip-Boy. So, once everything is disconnected again, you want to grab yourself some screws, some M3 screws, and you just want to screw in the Uno here. Gone in with one, so it's a bit ooh at the minute, so we're just going to secure that. But the issue I am having is that I can't get a nut around holes 1 and 2. I can only secure it in with 3 and 4. So that will just have to do. There is a little bit of wiggle. So now what we're going to do is add our screen on top again. There we go. And you want to add the battery in. You want to put the battery upside down, like so. We're then going to move the power in place. Okay, and we're still working. Yeah, we're still good. So just going to poke this through the hole until that goes in. There we go. With a bit of a push, she is in. And then we're just going to connect them back up. Okie dokie, so now what we're going to try and do is tuck everything in nicely. So after some jiggery and pokery to get all the wires in, close it up and switch it on. Initializing. And we are good to go. I have forgotten a component piece here. You can see the battery and the tape underneath. Whoops. And here is the final piece, folks. So we've got some weathering around the sides there. It's just a little wash I've done with the brown paint there. The inside I've got some padding. You can't, it's not really for show purposes, but it's just to keep my my arms locked in. So now, that's not going anywhere. And one final boot up. Yes. I need a gun in this hand. And that's it, folks. That is my Pip-Boy ready for Fallout Season 2.